in that thing. We're gonna get straight to it too. Yeah. What we doing right now is another edition of what I call LAP. LAP. Now what I normally do this thing live on Facebook and then bring it to the YouTube. But today we're gonna go straight on the YouTube instead of, you know what I'm saying? And then I'ma share it. So we're gonna get into it in a minute. Let me see if I can find this thing. Yeah. So we live on the YouTube, not the book. And I'ma share it to the book. But yeah, man, we gonna get into this thing called LAP. This my new talks I started, which they're not really new talks because I've been doing these talks, and one of my partners told me straight up, why do the talks and then erase them off of Facebook or just leave them on Facebook? Feed them to your YouTube. I'm like, you know what? He said, man, that's what I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? And he showed me his platform. And I'm like, you sure right. Because I'm led by the spirit to play that position. It's not nothing forced or anything like that. It's just, that's what it's hitting for, you know. That's how I be feeling. And when I'm always around younger dudes or impressionable people or just anybody, I find myself wanting to share good information. Pretty much like a human resource. But today, I'm not gonna hold you too long. I'm gonna get straight to the point of what I'm talking about. Basically, what I'm talking about today is the word accountability. This is my understanding of the word and my opinions. This is not no factual stuff that I got from anyone or anywhere. This is what comes from the inside of how I feel about being accountable. These days, society in our culture sometimes are reluctant to hold people accountable. And basically, sometimes us as individuals, we don't like holding ourselves accountable or have anybody else hold us accountable. So accountability is something that we really have to adopt, and we really have to, I'm not going to say enforce, but we're going to have to be accountable for our actions. You as an individual, the moves that you say you expect out of yourself, the deadlines, the new business ventures, the new health you're trying to acquire, whatever it is, it's going to take you holding yourself accountable. Right now, I'm going through a process. I thought I was going to be able to just hand it off to some other people because I thought I did my due diligence. But in reality, I knew I was handing off some scatterbrain type stuff. And I was hoping that the next person I was handing it off to could figure it out because I have so many other things that I'm trying to handle. But one of the people reached back out to me and they held me accountable. They told me straight business. I like what you got and it's good, but it is scatterbrain. And you will have to do a little bit more on your end for we fully can take it and bring it to the next level. I didn't want to hear that. But in reality, I knew when I handed off that it probably was all over the place. So now I'm holding myself accountable to applying an hour a day to fix what I can. You know what I mean? But that's me on one thing, one venture in my life that I'm holding myself accountable for. Working out is another. Um, Wasting time is another. Like, I tell myself I don't want to waste time. You know what I mean? If I'm gonna be wasting time, it's gonna be something that I want to do. You know what I mean? Something that's gonna pretty much be beneficial in the long run. That may look like a waste, but it's actually beneficial. So accountability, there's consequences to not holding yourself accountable. And most of the time, the consequences of not holding yourself accountable is pretty much you being irresponsible and allowing yourself to move through life like that. And it may seem comfortable and like you're getting away with a lot of stuff. But at the end of the day, the end result is you don't get nothing tangible accomplished. You don't get nothing incredible accomplished. So, yeah, today you might skip past the hard work. Today you might skip past the accountability. But at the end of the day, when everybody is prospering and having a good time and spending their rewards on whatever they may choose, what position do you sit in on that day at the pretty much the end result? We can do something basic as a work week. You know what I'm saying? Something as basic as a work week. Some people may choose to get up late, play the game, do whatever, fuck off. And then at the end of the week, there's no reward for that. But then you got others who hopping up at 5 o'clock in the morning, getting up on it, using their hands, using their brain, using their skills, using their abilities to apply pressure to receive a reward at the end of the week. So Friday comes, here it is. This person didn't hold himself accountable to being productive and to be profitable. So on Friday, he can expect nothing. But that person who did wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning every morning, jumped up, even though they didn't want to do it, but they held themselves accountable that they were going to commit to that and do that and apply pressure. So at the end of the week, boom, it drops out for them. They're rewarded. So they can go do X, Y, and Z, move how they want to move, whatever it may be. But then you have the dynamic of the person who has and the person who don't have. And then that's when you build the resistance, the elevation, and the decline. And most of the time, the decline is going to be looking up at the elevation and throwing darts. But that could have been avoided if you would have committed to compartmentalizing your life to say, I'm going to hold myself accountable to working 6 hours a day, 8 hours a day, or 10 hours a day, or 12 hours a day, maybe for the job that you're hired for, that you're going to work till you can launch your own thing or whatever it may be. It's whatever goals that you got written down that you're trying to accomplish, that you're going after. You know what I mean? If you don't have no goals, it's almost like having a GPS with no address. You're not navigating nowhere. So you got to start holding yourself accountable for the simplest things. You know what I'm saying? For wanting to get to the next level, for wanting to put up some big numbers on the court, wanting to make touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? Wanting to show up amongst the Eagles and soar and take care of big business. Scale your business up, expand your business, buy more, do more. But if you never hold yourself accountable, that's not going to happen. The world is consistently, constantly changing. You're gonna have to change. I had to change. Even if even if I didn't even notice it, you know what I'm saying? I was gonna have to change. From the life I was living to where I started to notice I wanted to go, I couldn't take that old me over there. You know what I mean? Because the old me was on some other shit. Like mentally, the old me couldn't be in certain meetings doing certain things because of the reactions. Like I remember a time I was taking the old me to an impromptu meeting that was called because of what the general manager at this establishment felt was I was being showed favoritism. And you got to mind, I'm fresh off the street trying to feed my kids and do something new. You know what I mean? And I'm going in here with these corporate people, and I can hang with the conversation and the understanding, but I did get lost a few times on certain things. But once I did lock in, I committed to X, Y, and Z, and they committed to X, Y, and Z, and that was my expectations, just like they had expectations of me. We were holding each other accountable for what we committed to. So one situation that took place, they attacked a female that was in the department who wrote the checks, who cut the checks. And my check was supposed to be cut at a certain time on a certain date. That was the expectations. That's what I was holding them accountable for because I did the work and you said I was going to, get paid on this date. Well, let's get it. Well, I started showing up and the lady who was cutting the check, you know what I mean? She wasn't showing me no kind of favoritism. She just respected that, hey, boom, my young brother coming in here, X, Y, and Z taking care of his business. So when I would show up, she would hand me my check, like, bam. So they started bothering her, talking about, oh, you got your little boyfriend, check ready, this and that, this and that. And I'm like, this sister coming to work trying to take care of business. We ain't on that type of time, so you ain't got to be disrespecting her like that. And so when she told me that, I was like, I like this contract and I want it, but at the same time, I'm gonna have to let them know you're not gonna harass my sister like that. Straight business. It was a decision I had to make. So, I came in and my intentions was to just verbally, hey, excuse me, the remarks that were made, where is that coming from? Well, that's not what's happening with us. So I would appreciate it if you could step back on that and don't harass her like that. You know what I mean? And so when I told the guy that, and I don't know if it was that tone, but I know it was a professional tone, he pulled a card on me. Hey, this and that. He in his chair and he down talking me and treating me like I'm about that big and everything. And the old me just was waiting till he was done, and the old me was ready to react like I would react in one of the street confrontations, but I knew that that person could not be in that office building, in that establishment with them people conducting themselves the way he would on, the street corners or whatever. So after he finished, I verbally became the old me, but I had no intentions of physically doing anything, but verbally, yeah, he was all kind of, hoistnicks. You know what I'm saying? He was a hoistnick. He was a pussy. I'm gonna say it. He was a pussy boy. He was all kind of shit, bitch ass nigga. This and that, and I got kicked off the premises. You know what I'm saying? And I left proud, my head up. I just took some bread out my pocket, but at the same time, I had to stand for something. You know what I mean? But basically, what I'm saying, man, we gotta hold each other accountable. Sometimes in society, sometimes in your family, in your circle, people don't like confrontation. So they don't want to hold you accountable. You know, they know you might be doing X, Y, and Z. You might be slipping a little bit, but they don't want the confrontation. So they might not say nothing about it. Well, if I care about you, if I truly care about you, I can't be silent about it. I'm gonna have to be vocal. You know what I mean? For instance, my son, he think when he come around me, I'm on some TD Jakes. I'm on some always barking at him type stuff. But what he don't understand is you're my first born child, for one, and you're my first boy. You know what I mean? And I've invested like quality, intimate time on every level with you. And you get it. So I'm holding you accountable to be great. That's what that is. So when you come around me, I'm not trying to be no old ass nigga. Yeah, nigga, you better. No, nigga. I expect greatness out of you. Because when you look at me, what I'm doing, I'm working like a dog with my tongue out, trying to make it happen for my circle, my family, my kids, whoever close to me, and also trying to open up other resources and options to give niggas options and resources. At this point in time today, I can hire a couple motherfuckers. But right now, I'm trying to do as much as I can and contract with people. You know what I mean? Instead of hiring them, just contract with them. You know what I mean? So you still your own independent self. It's just you'll have a contract with me. You're not my full employee. You know what I mean? So that ain't what I'm trying to do at this moment. But we gotta hold each other accountable. Hey, if your bread ain't where it need to be, get the fuck up out the bed. And most of us bread ain't where it need to be. So get the fuck up out the bed. You know what I mean? Put that pen to the pad and start creating systems of how to get that bread. Figure it out. You know what I mean? Use the resources around you. Use the elders around you. Use the internet. Whatever necessary, use these things so you can elevate and get to the next level. And hold yourself accountable, as well as the people in your circle. If we trying to expand and rise and get to another level, we can't do that by bullshitting. We can't do that by pussyfooting and afraid to tell each other, say, my nigga, goddamn, you wasn't productive at all today. You didn't do shit towards the goal that we trying to reach. Like, you all right? You know what I'm saying? Because if you all right, what is this mental vacation? I'm sorry. Personally, I've taken all the mental vacations that's necessary for me and 10 other motherfuckers. 10, 15 years drinking, smoking, fucking off. You know what I'm saying? You'll read about that in the book. I took the gloves off. I gave it all to you. You know what I'm saying? I gave it to you. But we got to hold each other accountable, man, for being, as much as we can be, all we can be, and being great individuals. So, like I say, this has been another lap. This is all my personal opinions. And hey, man, you can take it with a grain of salt, or you can say, you know what? I see the change in Hezeleo. And Hezeleo is sparking that change in others. So you may be good. You may already got this information. May not even be for you. But share it with somebody who can use it. You know what I mean? And like and subscribe, comment, feel free, do whatever. These laps gonna be coming to you, baby. Back to back to back to back. We're gonna bring you the TLM, the radio show. We're gonna bring you the laps. We're gonna bring you the music. And man, young Heezy, I salute you. I got a whole batch of content, old shows, back behind the scenes, backstage, this and that, this and that. I'm gonna start chopping that. I'm gonna start chopping and screwing that and giving you a few minutes of that on this YouTube. So you're gonna want to stick around because you're gonna see some exclusive stuff from some exclusive angles that you've never seen before, because it's my personal footage with me with the camera or Big Bub with the camera. It was either me or Big Bub. I don't remember nobody else wanting a whole lot of camera. Them dirty motherfuckers knew we were trying to get on our grind. They should have been holding that camera for, but we had to do that too. But that's all good, man. All I want you to do is catch the message. This has been another lap with your boy Hezeleo. Accountability. That's what it's about. Research, find a definition, come up with your own explanation and definition and meaning and how you feel about the word, and apply yourself. That's all I'm talking about. I'm out.